This is Sports Drive.
Welcome back into Sports Drive once again. I'm your host, Preston Moore. I mentioned earlier in the show that we would speak with a couple high school coaches from around the area. One of them joining me now live via Zoom, Coach Adam Cummings from the West Plains Wolves. Heading into year 2, football head coach Adam Cummings. Coach Cummings, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Preston. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Well, I want to talk a little bit about your team this upcoming year. You know, there were a lot of challenges going into the very first year of your program. And now I feel like, you know, the second year, it's going to be, you know, obviously probably a lot different, knowing that this isn't the first go-around with everything. How has the offseason been going for you and your team? Obviously, one of the teams in the area that didn't lose as many seniors as maybe some other teams did.
Yeah, no, our offseason's been going really well, all the way going back to, November. Our kids have really bought into our culture and what we're trying to do at West Plains, and they kind of set the standard pretty high, year one, which I think that was their intention all along. They wanted to be successful early, and so we're just hoping to carry that over into year 2, and so far the kids have really bought in and are having a good offseason, good summer workouts, and we've had really good turnout. And it's been good. It's been really good.
Due to the nature of, the school split with Randall, a lot of your team was young, or, guys who, maybe had a chance to be on a varsity football team or start in an opportunity that maybe they wouldn't have had otherwise without that, the situation that it was with Randall. Notably, your starting quarterback, Reed Macon, was a freshman last year. I want to talk about him, but also a little bit about just the whole team. What kind of advantages do you think it may provide to you to have a lot of the same guys returning?
Yeah, I think anytime you can bring back, guys that have experience playing varsity football, I think it gives you a leg up from the previous year. So our practices have been way different than last year. Last year we were trying to install the very basics of our offense, very basics of our defense. This year, we're further along now than we were at the end of last season in terms of our offense, in terms of our defense, and what we're trying to do in all 3 phases of the game. But we're also further along in terms of just physical maturity, emotional maturity, mental maturity, and all the things, just because of natural growth in our guys, just becoming a freshman to a sophomore to a junior, and so on. So I think we're definitely in a better spot than we were last year in terms of talent because of physical maturity, but we're also in a better spot, just understanding what we're trying to do from the mental part of the game too.
Yeah, definitely. You mentioned at the beginning of the show, or at the beginning of the interview just a couple minutes ago, that one of the goals for West Plains, kind of as a whole, and this has been echoed by other coaches at West Plains, is that the goal for the first year was to establish yourselves, as a premier football program, as somebody who can play with the big dogs, even though it's year 1, and that has definitely been the case across all sports at West Plains. I think that across all sports, you guys have established yourselves as a powerhouse almost, or as somebody who can come in and get the job done and play against teams that have been more established, obviously have been around for far longer than West Plains has. You guys finished last season 7-5, but along that way, after starting 0-3, to go 7-5 after starting 0-3 is a really, really impressive season. So tell me a little bit about some of the goals for this upcoming season, the second season, the sophomore season of West Plains.
Well, I don't know about being a powerhouse, but we feel like we can compete. We feel like any situation we go into, any game, any opponent, we feel like we're going to be well prepared. We feel like our kids are bought into what we're doing, and we feel like we give ourselves a chance. As far as going into year 2, I think our expectations really haven't changed from last year in terms of we want to be competitive from the get-go. Obviously starting 0-3, gave great motivation going into the remainder of the season last year. But, this year, we're playing the same people, so to say that it's going to be a different outcome. I don't know that anybody can make that guarantee or make that promise, but one thing I do know is that our kids are, they're prepared, they're ready. And as that July 31st date rolls around, our kids the anticipation and the excitement starting to increase as well. So, I think the one thing we focus on is 1% better every day. We want to make sure we're doing that, putting our best foot forward. And one thing we're stressing to our kids right now is the idea of full benefit, regardless of the situation, regardless of circumstances, regardless of what we're going through. We want to get maximum benefit from that situation, even in tough times, so we want to come out the other side better and stronger than we were before. And so I think, you look at last season and the progression through that season, I think we came out better than we were in the beginning. And then I think you look at our off season, I think it's the same thing. And so I think we're going into this season more prepared, obviously older, more mature. And I think that'll hopefully pay dividends as the season progresses.
Yeah, I agree. I think it will pay dividends, especially like we've mentioned, having a significant amount of returning players coming back from your starters. Recently, you won an award. You were awarded Coach of the Year, Football Coach of the Year from the Panhandle Sports Hall of Fame. A little bit, that ceremony featured coaches from all sports, and there are a lot of names that were on that list, a lot of great names, a lot of great coaches, and you were one of them. What does it mean to you to be awarded that, not only to have that award, but to win it in your very first year at West Plains?
I think any award like that, it's, one person's getting recognized, but that's obviously a team award. I'm surrounded by really good men that do a phenomenal job, not just coaching the X's and O's of the game, but also mentoring young people. We have great kids, we have talent, we have kids that are hard workers. That's never been a question for us. The quality of our kids, and then we have good support staff. Everything from Canyon ISD and the athletic department with Toby Tucker and his staff to our administration at West Plains. And so, Eric Gomez and his staff do a phenomenal job supporting us and giving us the things that we need to be successful. And you look at our facilities, we have great facilities. We have so many factors that play into that award. To be given that award is an honor, obviously, and to be recognized amongst the company that was.
Are you there, Coach? I think we might have lost you. Your audio isn't coming through right now, Coach. I think we may be losing you. We're gonna step away briefly. We got some technical difficulties. We'll try and get Coach Cummings back on here in just a moment.